Blowing loose. So this is the lads not eat challenge. Lewis lost the quiz, so now he's
also, it was a 6 fucking question quiz, bollocks. But
all right. Next time it will be a 10-question quiz.
I have written 10 questions, Lou.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
I was just thinking at the time, and I was trying to be structured. Either way, Lou, you lost. Right. So
set up, man.
I've got three sport questions for you, Lou. In there.
Oh, what can be like fucking like darts or something?
Darts. So, Lou, are you ready for your challenge?
Yeah, I'm ready. Are
you ready for your challenge? Now, we've got to witness Lou do this on camera. And you know what, Lou? Before you destroy your life and your friendships and stuff, I'd just like to state you've got balls for following through with it. It's going to be funny as fuck.
That's our boy.
Right. Okay. So, Lou, would you like to make that phone call? Let me just say, just to remind people, at the start of the podcast, we were saying that Lewis's challenge is to, what is it, Lou? To phone up your friend
and phone me mate of 20 years and tell him a lot of fancying. Not
that you're just fancying, that you love him.
Love him.
Well, let you be creative with this.
You've got to remember, I've got to put it into a conversation. I can't just go, all right, mate.
Yeah. You gotta put it into a conversation. So are you ready? Is your phone on hand? And let's begin.
Oh,
it'll be funny.
Hello, mate. How are you?
How you been? I ain't heard of you since the weekend.
Whoa. Yeah, well, I've been alright. I've been alright. How about you? You still been doing a bit of training and that?
Yeah, been training, just on runs and
yeah. So no, you know, I've been doing the same. You've been watching the football.
Yeah, I have a bit. I ain't been really watching it completely. It's getting a bit boring, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting a bit boring. I don't know. I'm getting.
The lads in the chat. I've seen the lads mention a couple of things in the chat, so I've just been busy with work as well.
Yeah, no, to be fair, I've been the same, but I've been getting a bit more into it because, like, you know, I've been watching it now and I've been like proper, like, I don't know, semi enjoying it a bit. Not because it's any good, but you know, you just get like little twinges and that, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just get like, you know, one of them.
It helps though. You're at a good.
Because I think they're in good nick as well, ain't they? They're in like really good nick now. And I've just been watching it, man. Like, I see, like, sometimes when I see you, like, post and that, like, I think of, like, the shape and that. Like, it's a bit like the footballers, man. So it's pretty, like, you know what I mean? Like, do you ever feel like that when I post? Like, yeah, just like mainly the ones where you've got like your arms out and that. Like, you're looking in good shape, man.
You sound really distant.
All the same was.
Really distant.
Oh, we'll have to get closer then, won't we? I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe it, but do you never get that when I post? Do you see? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can now.
Yeah, but like, do you ever get like, I don't know, like a little bit of like a twinge?
In what sense?
Like, you know, when you see, you know, we've known each other for a while now, so when I see your post and that, no. Just little, like not like too funny, but just like a little bit, you know, a little bit homo.
What do you mean in the sense of
what, like?
What do you mean? What boxing?
Well, yeah, like obviously the boxing, but mainly, like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. This is really awkward for me, man. But yeah, just
you pulling my leg?
Nah. You know, I'm struggling to be serious here, but you know, one of them where you see the footballers and that, and they, you know, a decent looking footballer, don't you? And like you sometimes you post and you just go, he's a decent looking lad, don't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's common sense, really.
Yeah, of course it is, but.
No, what are you trying to tell me now, look?
Not trying to tell you anything, but like, You know, like,
You're a boy, are you? You're a
no,
boy.
ah, ah, no, I don't think for anyone else. Like,
Sure,
no, I think you're. I think I can't. I can't. I can't. Oh no, I can't. No, oh man, look. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been told
Gazer.
to do it. I've been told to do it. I've been told to like pull your leg, man. But no, it's a good job that you didn't turn around and say you wanted to bum her. Oh no, yeah. That look, fucking. I got two gimps watching me, and they've been trying to fucking tell me to do it. I lost a bet.
You know what? I ain't really got much to say to that now. You had me going.
I know. Did I get the engine running? Hello. That's what I mean. Look, I got all the engine. I got the engine going, didn't I? And we didn't drive. But nah, that was it, mate. I'll have to, I'll have to tell you how much I love you another day. I'll keep this on secret. But nah, I'll have to let you go then, mate. I'll see you in a bit.
do you know what?
Yes, Lewis.
You did do it in one sense. And I liked all your setup and everything. Like, obviously, you didn't smash it in the hammer, but you know what? I'll give you credit for
Yeah, that
even I
was
was
a good one, Lou.
even I
That
was
was a
nearly
good one.
convinced. Right.
Yeah.
So we'll let you off with this one, and you did it.
I think that's a valiant attempt.
Why?
Yeah,
Huh?
but you know what I mean. If you look, you know what? It's one of those things that
Fair play
you
to you,
sort of
mate.
went through it, but all right. Well, we'll let you go on this one, but if you won't be so
Let me
lenient.
go. Let me go. I'm nearly like you know what I mean. Nearly destroyed a friendship.
I thought it was brilliant.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant. It was
No,
fun.
Dave, you just wanted me to say I want a pile driver. That's what you wanted me to say.
Well, that was the challenge, to be fair. But like
To be fair, the challenge was more make out you got some sort of feelings for you, mate.
okay, let's accept that one then. And it was funny, and you did set it up well. So well done, mate. That must have been
man.
so difficult. Like,
That is hard, man. That is hard. Like, plus, I'm watching you
Still.
laugh.
It's still hard.
I am.
After I've got off the phone now, I'm really thinking about it. Maybe I should tell him. But
Yeah, maybe you should.
no, that is a difficult challenge, man. I weren't impressed when I got that.
I know you. I know. We could see your reactions when we're like, "Oh, you lost."
Did you
I know.
not want to tell your mum that you was gay? Okay, she went, I had my suspicions.
Well, I've got another theory. He didn't want to tell his mum that he was gay because he knows he's got to do it again at a later date. Look.
If anything, like that would soften the blow, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. No
No,
pun
it's-
intended. But like,
Good. You did good,
yeah,
Lou.
you did good, Lou. You did really good. You
Thank
did
you.
really good. Does
I'm gonna-
Andy lying in bed like with his top off do anything for you, mate? Does it make your glasses steam up or anything?
You know, yeah, I know, yeah, I thought this. I thought, fuck, maybe you should be calling her, mate.
Henny,
Um,
Henny.
I'm just going to be asked to get dressed. I'm not going to. Actually, I had the t-shirt on, but because I'm sometimes a little bit of when I drink, I've got coffee down it, and I thought I'd rather look like a fat div than a tramp who's wearing a coffee stained t-shirt. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Have you only got one t-shirt?
I've got others, but I just couldn't be asked. Honestly, I was just like, I got back. I just got called out to an electrical job, and I was like,
Yeah.
so then I got back, and I just thought, fuck this.
So,
Yeah.
also, so what we doing next week?
So,
Well, I've got a
Andy-
10-question
go on.
quiz.
What I was thinking as well,
Yeah.
where do we stand on sport? I know Andy likes a bit of sport. How do you like sport, David?
I'm all right. I'm all right. So this might be a good one for you, because
Yeah.
sport, yeah, right, is not my strongest point. I don't mind boxing.
See, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, why didn't we have like a sports episode? But if you're like a girl and you don't like sport, then we'll avoid that.
You do. I like more.
But don't you ever get involved with like the Paralympics?
Nah, nah, I can't be arsed, man. Like, don't know, if there was a beanbag toss, well, actually, I should say that. Get involved in that probably.
So what about boxing? How much you into that?
Yeah, I know a little bit about boxing. Some people know more than me, but I'm okay. I'm okay on it. I'm all right.
Boys, I'm fucking off. The challenge is done.
All right,
I'll
all right,
speak.
all right.
I'll see you guys.
Look at this.
When are we doing it?
Sunday.
Sunday, say, we're gonna have to give you
Sunday.
the sack. You know what I mean? You don't even.
Look at this. We're just having a little challenge and debrief and catch up about little brainstorm. And look at you running off.
Lads,
Yeah.
does your computer?
Ah, he's done it. He's done that one. He's done that one.
No, he copied that from his girlfriend because she did that to me the other day. So I hope this is still recording, so this is going to be documented. Like, he copies jokes.
Yeah. He literally watches Ricky Gervais and just re-quotes them.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'll put that down. That's pretty
We
good.
should do a comedy one, actually.
Yeah, we should, shouldn't we?
Talk about like maybe like a list of top 3 comedians for us all or something.
Yes, now I know a lot about comedy.
Yeah, I think that's it. And see,
In fact, the guy behind me, the picture, this picture, if you've never heard of this guy, his name's Bill Hicks. He's actually a very iconic American comedian. He was very politically motivated as well, but he could have a laugh. Quite a good guy. Look him up, man.
I don't think I've watched him, to be fair. I'm probably what sort of generation?
He was in the early 90s, he was. He's dead.
Nah, I grew up on more of like, I suppose, like early mid 2000s maybe, or 10s.
Yeah. Just quickly then, what comedians do you like?
So I've got I won't rank them just yet, but what I've got.
Yeah, we won't rank them.
In my mind, I've got Ricky Gervais, Jimmy Carr.
Brilliant.
I like Kevin Bridges.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm missing some big. I think as a young kid, probably not as much now, because obviously he's sort of retired and whatnot. But as a kid, I loved Lee Evans. I love the energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Lee Evans. Yeah. No matter what type of comedy you like, I find that he's got a special place in everyone's heart. No matter what type of comedy you like, whether it's a bit edgy or whatever. Like, you know who I like? People think he's a knob and that, but I understand it's just his persona. Russell Brand.
You know what? I think we had this conversation the other day. Yeah. Okay, his comedy is a bit. I was probably a bit young for his comedy.
Yeah.
But as a person, since leaving like more of the comedy side, and going into more a YouTube
podcasting,
podcast sort of personality type thing, I really I thought he was a bit of a knob, but I don't think he is now. I think he's got a lot of
compassion and stuff, and he's quite aware as well.
Yeah, so I think I haven't really watched too much of his stand up, or if he done stand up.
Yeah, he did. He's done a few.
But I know I remember a few of his shows, but I don't remember being that old really, so I don't really remember any of them.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I remember him as more of probably a panelist. You know, like
with Noel Fielding as well.
Yeah, I liked him actually.
Yeah, I love Noel Fielding. Yeah, I think he's wicked. Yeah.
Yeah, loads. I think to a certain extent, these comedians probably help form your sense of humor. You know what I mean?
Definitely, and I would definitely like. See, the thing is, why I like Russell Brand as well. I found that like his sort of sense of humor, I got it. Do you know what I mean? I understood it. Like, you know, it weren't because people think, oh yeah, he's really egocentrical. No, he's just preying on that aspect of himself, and he's talking about it in his comedy. How like his ego, like he's sort of taking the piss out of himself by being so egotistical. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He's like, oh, look at me, I'm that special. But not really, because in this situation, blah, 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 and all this.
Yeah, no, I definitely. I think I think I like that style of comedy. This is where I think of like I like the darker sense of humour. Well, clearly we all do. You know what I mean? I like the Ricky Gervais of the world.
Ricky
Yeah.
Gervais is excellent, man.
For me,
Yeah,
comedy should be. I don't care what's joked about. I don't believe there's a line.
yeah,
As long as you're not doing it to purposely harm someone,
yeah.
then if it is just in the matter of
Or to
a
do it
joke,
for, yeah, sorry.
yeah, carry on, yeah,
Or to do it for an alternative agenda, like, you know.
yeah,
It's not like you're trying to, like, even when people joke about stuff as awful as paedophilia, like, people aren't joking to promote it. Like,
yeah, yeah,
they're not like, comedy to me, like, is saying stuff that you're not meant to say.
mm,
Like, and that's there should be a space for that. I mean, look, the whole idea that it's a joke. And if you don't like a certain comedian,
yeah,
that like me and Andy say it on this podcast, if you don't like what we talk about and that, then you've got the free will to not
to not
watch
watch.
it. You know what I
And you
mean?
know, I think the big issue is big issue. I'm selling them uptown. But I think the biggest issue is people love to be offended, and what it is when people. So you only the line people seem to think there is oh, you can't say that, that's offending me. But it was okay. So if you made a joke about someone who's got a dodgy right hand, then they would go, you can't make jokes about people with dodgy right hands. But then when you're taking the mick out of the person with a dodgy left hand, that's fine. Oh my God, that's completely fine.
It's like, I remember somebody saying to me, like, oh, Dad, you know, you make jokes about paedophilia and stuff like that, but you ain't got kids. What's that got to do with anything?
Yeah,
Do I not find paedophilia as disgusting then because I haven't
yeah,
got
you still
kids?
got probably like nieces, nephews, and whatnot.
Do you know what I mean? It's a disgusting thing. But to say a joke, like the way I say jokes about disability,
Mm.
you know, I'm a disabled guy,
Yeah, if I
and
turned around now and made a disabled joke and you got offended, okay, you got the right to maybe be a bit hurt by it because it might open up a wound. You
yeah,
know
be
what I mean?
like, oh yeah, hold on. But like even then, if we create a space
Mm.
that like we can joke,
Yeah,
and it's
definitely. I
like,
think
you know, then you can't pick and choose what to be offended at, man.
no.
You can't do that because then, as you said, if we could do that, everybody would. Oh, you can't make a joke about people with
Because
blue eyes,
everyone,
brown eyes, whatever,
you know
because
what I
then
mean?
it just
Exactly.
becomes like fascism. You
Yeah,
know, it's
exactly.
not.
So
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. There has to be. There's all, you either joke about everything or nothing,
yeah,
and that's
yeah, and that's it. I mean, like you wouldn't go to a Frankie Boyle like
oh
fucking show and be like, and have like a really sensitive disposition.
yeah,
Because you know, yeah, right. If you go to a Frankie Bowl show, it's going to be raw, right?
mm.
You know, and you can't then be like, well, I was offended at that. I want my money back. No, you went in there, right? We set out what it was. It's like me and Andy don't advertise this podcast as like for kids or anything like that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
I've even said on the descriptions, you know, this contains strong language, sexual references, and Andy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so, like, at the end of the day, it's all well and good to have an opinion, and I don't mind feedback
Yeah. I
at
don't.
all.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind people being hurt by a joke because
Yeah,
if
that's a
you've got
right to be.
if you've got an insecurity or if you're a bit, triggered by a certain topic because that personally doesn't sit right with you, that's
Yeah,
fine. But it's being
and
offended to the point where you go, you shouldn't do that.
yeah, you shouldn't do that. Well, why shouldn't I do that?
Yeah, I,
And,
I,
it,
I
and it's kind
remember.
of like back to the conversation, like when somebody said, "Well, you shouldn't joke about paedophilia. It's easy for you because you ain't got kids." I'm like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's the thing.
that's
I
not
remember.
even an argument.
No, it isn't. I don't think it is. I remember. So you know the Glee Club uptown.
Yeah,
So I remember going there and going to a comedy show. I remember this bloke pulling out an absolute like it was really funny. but it was a joke which was at the time and quite close to home.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, you know, one of them, like,
Yeah, like, oh yeah, nah.
like a bit like a fresh wound. Where you sit there, go,
Yeah, yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
I didn't come here for this. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was laughing about other jokes earlier in the day. I had no right to sit there and go, mate, what you doing? Like, you know what I mean?
You know, it's like me. It's like me laughing at like really sick jokes, you know, about rape, whatever it might be, and then like somebody pops up and says a wheelchair joke. I'm like, hold on.
Mm.
I have no fucking right to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
No fucking right. Like,
Exactly.
so, you know, people can get fucked really, and if they don't like it, they can lump it, can't they?
Yeah,
Or
pretty much.
you know. Well, yeah, man, this has been a little bit of a good podcast here.
Oh yeah, it's basically been. Oh yeah, literally. I think that's it. That could be something we can do as well. More just have
Yeah,
a topic and you know what I mean, and see
that's
where
it.
we go.
That's it. It'd be good as well because I tried to get Andy to discuss the topic of Michael Jackson with me because you know how people are always bringing it up like, oh, Dave, you just defending him and that because you're a fan. I'm not defending him. I'm looking at both sides of the story because
Yeah, I think.
it's quick to say, yeah, right, that he's he's definitely a nonsense. You know,
Yeah.
this documentary on Netflix, oh, we definitely did it. And then, Dad, you can't say just off the bat, right, that he's innocent because you're a fan. But you can't say just off the bat that he's a paedophile without even doing any further research.
Yeah,
What's
don't get me wrong.
wrong with
I
people?
think you've got to play devil's advocate as well. So
Yeah,
even if I don't agree, I side more with Andy's comment,
yeah,
but I still would be willing to explore why. You know what I mean?
yeah. Why? That you like again as well because when you're calling somebody a paedophile or nuts, that's not a lot thing,
Yeah.
and it's also as well on the other side of it as well. When you say, "Oh, that person isn't," and then these abusers come forward, that's not a lot thing either. But with a situation like that, you've really got to break down to distinguish what are facts and what is media trivia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
And
it's like
and
there's a lot of people's reputation on the line with stuff like
unfortunately,
that.
that's the world we live in also.
Yeah,
Because I was saying this to my pals at once, where there was this fella, and he was walking, we was walking up like the hills, and it was in Malvern. We were walking up there,
yeah,
and he had like a camera and all this and that. And I went, you know what'd be weird? If we took a photo of him and put it on Facebook and said, this bloke's a da 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 da, I guarantee you could get that room
they
started.
would. Yes, especially when it comes to that, like
Yeah.
like because I've had that. And there's pictures of people that have been put on the internet, especially Facebook, and then people go, "Oh, he's a paedophile. This blah 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 blah. He's been looking at blah blah blah." Right? How do you know that that's not just a revenge ploy against somebody?
Yeah.
Somebody could easily take a picture of me and you and say, "Oh, this guy is a sex offender." Blah blah blah. You'd get a fucking mob straight away. You'd get a mob straight away. Like, oh, burn him. Like, do you know what I mean? Without actual any proof of what he's done, you know, you can end up on the sex offenders register for just pissing in the street for indecent exposure.
You know what I mean? Like, I get the argument, but then I get to sit there
Yeah,
and go,
so do I.
yeah,
Like, paedophiles need to burn, but
yeah,
like at the end of the day,
but,
you can't just throw that label on anybody.
yeah. And this is it. There needs to be hard evidence on
Yeah,
everything, really. And unfortunately, we live in a world where you can make up a rumor now, or you can spin it. You can spin any photo whichever way you
anything,
want.
anything.
Um,
It's very
um,
dangerous as well now, as well, because of not taking away from it. I think it's a good thing. But this whole hysteria with the Me Too movement as well, some people can jump on that bandwagon and use it for the wrong things.
definitely, I think every every protest or every movement we've ever had or we ever will, there will be genuine people in that, but there will be, unfortunately, people jump on things and you don't know what is genuine and what isn't.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And yeah, how much media can spin it where I could take a photo of that riot or that protest and could label it whatever I wanted. I could label that, oh, people protesting about donut prices, and people
Yeah.
will believe me.
Yeah.
People,
Yeah.
no,
And that's the thing, like, it comes back to like people need to learn how to do critical thinking.
yeah. And
That's the
this is
problem.
it. I think we live in a world where, I mean, I want, I don't ever like to, I don't ever like to say it's a generational thing because I just don't know, because I didn't live in another generation, so I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
it's not a generational thing. Like stupidness has been going on for a
Yeah.
while.
It's
Like,
like,
it's the thing is, yeah, right. People think we live in a more advanced, society because we have technology. Technology is smarter than we are. Like, and it's kind of thing where like people are even way back in the day, where where there was less information, where the governments weren't being exposed for passing on information and stuff like that. People back in the day, they'd be like, well, no, king and country would never do that. Respect your king and country or whatever. Where people now, at least they're a bit more skeptical.
yeah.
You
And you
know,
know what though? But then, on the flip side of the coin, how
yeah,
long until people are too skeptical and they can't believe nothing? And
that's the thing. That's the thing, and this is what I've noticed with COVID conspiracies or whatnot. You know, on one side, it's good that people are thinking like in the sense of should we trust the vaccine or whatever. But on the flip side, they're not going. It's all a conspiracy. It's all a conspiracy. And those Daily Mail people, I like to call them, have been like, yeah, it's a conspiracy because I watched half an hour video of it on YouTube, when
yeah,
actually you're not qualified to make such bold statements like that. I don't know what's going on. Nobody does. You can only
and
judge it by your own.
I think a lot of people are afraid as well to say they don't know what's going on.
Yeah, like everybody needs to have an answer or be
Yeah,
part
yeah,
of like everybody needs to have an answer. Because it's the old saying, a fool considers himself to be a wise man. A wise man considers himself to be a fool. Just know that we know fuck all. And the more you know, the less you know. And that's true.
I believe it. I think I've noticed over recent times that I'm more likely to say, you know what, I don't know, but I can see both points of view.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's actually ironically a mark of intelligence, Lou, to say that actually, well, there you go, mate. You know what I mean? And it's like to say, well, actually, fuck my pride or whatever. Like, I don't know. Because when you say you don't know, you're opening yourself up yet to learn.
yeah,
And
and
that's
I
where
think that
knowledge comes from.
that's it. And I do think a lot of people are afraid of saying I don't know, which
Yeah.
is it's crazy, really, isn't it, that we live in a world where you can't. I don't like to sit there and say offence sit because
Mm.
I'm quite an opinionated person, really.
Yeah.
But to sit there and say like I don't know, I think that is an asset to say I
Yeah.
haven't researched it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
And that's still an opinion to bring to the table. He's like, I don't know, because then it opens up the option to investigate your
yeah,
options,
tell
if you
me.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and it's kind of like a lot of people don't know, and they just make these assumptions and everything. It's like, to me, it's like the conspiracy theorists, the racists, are now turned into the conspiracy theorists because they were so sure about like, well, loads of people are taking our jobs, reading the tabloids and everything, and they were so sure that all this is going on and everything else. And now you got them going, oh, this is a conspiracy, and it's just this certain way of thinking that even if you have a conversation with them, man, no, it's bullshit. I'm like, all right, where'd you get your evidence from? A
you know
Facebook?
what though? And unfortunately, we live in a world as well where everyone uses stats. And my favourite thing is that with stats don't lie, but lies use stats.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And
That's
that's
it.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
We can find a stat for anything we want.
yeah. That's it.
But that is that, and unfortunately, people will believe anything they see in a paper, and they'll believe that stat if that's what they want to hear.
Yeah, yeah. Or it's not even the paper now. It's on Facebook, and it's like,
Yeah, yeah,
you know. And if somebody does a documentary and they sound clever, people get sucked in straight away. And
yeah,
it's kind of like, I've noticed this with a lot of people, especially through this pandemic. Like, and it's like they seem to be so sure about their fucking opinion, and if you don't believe it, then you're the dumb one. I'm like,
And
wow,
this is what unfortunate as
wow.
well, that no one is willing to find common ground.
No,
Why can't we find a common ground? Why can't we find that you think this way? So
yeah,
a big one for me, I like watching Stephen Crowder. Have you ever heard of him? Change my mind bloke.
no, I haven't. What's his name?
Stephen Crowder, I believe, and he's like an American, but I think he's like a French Canadian heritage. But he's
Okay,
very. What he does is, you might have seen him memed, and he sets up a table at unis and whatnot in America, and it'll be like, I think this so and so. I think, I don't know. I think Trump's the best man in the world. Change my mind, and then
yeah,
he will hit you with his facts or whatnot, and someone will hit him back with theirs.
yeah,
And okay, don't get me wrong, he's fully prepared for that argument. So 9 times out
yeah,
of
yeah,
10, he will look like he's won the argument. So
yeah,
I do take it with a pinch of salt, but I do like the fact that in a lot of his videos, he will go, let's find the common ground. What do we agree on? Like,
yeah,
why can't you have a difference in opinion, but go, where do we meet?
yeah.
Um,
And that's the thing as well. People are forgetting that it's perfectly fine to have a different opinion. But like, it's kind of thing where it's like, if you haven't got substance in your argument, then you can't get pissed off when people call you out on your bullshit.
yeah,
And that's the thing. People don't want to be wrong. And so that like they believe anything that will back up their theory. And that just leaves them vulnerable to like,
and
information bullshit, like,
yeah, and this is my issue. I think so many people, and we're forced into believing what is right and wrong in terms of we're forced into through media and whatnot, if what we should be protesting or what we should be writing, and we
Yeah,
overlook other issues. We all decide this is the media put out, this is the big topic today, and we all go, fuck it, oh, that's bang out of order, that is, we're doing something about that. And then we go, well, have we looked over the road, like what's going on down there? No, forget that. We've got to deal with
exactly.
this. And you're like, we've been like you're being programmed to listen to that and go,
That's it. That's it.
and like you don't actually know anything to do with it, and
That's
you're
it.
ignoring something which is arguably worse, or you're ignoring something which is just on the same level,
Yeah,
just because
yeah,
you've been effectively brainwashed into believing that is the biggest issue at the moment.
yeah. Exactly that. Exactly. And I think you've really touched on a really good point there. And I hope people come away from this podcast as well, man. Just to be like, all right, let's think. I'm not saying me and Lewis are right. That's the point.
Yeah, exactly. Like we could be chatting the
No,
most rubbish. This
yeah,
could be the most bullshit anyone's ever
yeah,
heard. You know what I mean?
exactly. People could be like, well, what are these two fucking on about? But people have the right to do that. But like, look at it properly.
Yeah.
Look at things properly. And also, people don't look at the sources of where they're getting their information from.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on
I
that
think.
note, oh, go on, mate.
No, I was going to say you're right. I think so many people they'll listen to anything as long as it fits their agenda. So
Exactly.
even if they get it from an unreliable, I won't name names, but unreliable newspapers, for example, which have a history of chatting rubbish, they'll go, yeah, but in this so and so it says this, and you go, but do you not remember the last 15 years they've been saying this?
Yeah.
Who
You
said
know what I mean?
who said they're right now?
Yeah.
But yeah,
And I think it's also healthy to disagree. You know,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, when people talk about this left and right stuff, there's some opinions from the right wing that you might agree with, and there's some opinions from the left. But now it's this whole thing of tribalism. You're
and
either one or the other.
that's it.
And actually, yeah, real
Yeah.
life isn't actually like that. There's a lot of grey areas. And I reckon if people sat down, had conversations, again, what you said with
Ah,
common ground.
there's one on YouTube, and
Yeah,
it's I think it's on the. You know what? I feel like the Lad Bible is washed up. I mean, I grew up out of that, off Facebook and whatnot. They've got a YouTube channel, and it's like it might be called Common Ground or something. We'll
yeah,
have to watch. So they'll get a vegan and a meat eater, or they'll get a
yeah,
drinker and a non-drinker, and they'll
yeah.
find common ground. So
That's
we'll have to
good.
watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So anything like that, man, we encourage. That's good, Lou. That's good. Those are good. Because I'm gonna go away now and watch it. watch a few
Yeah,
things.
honestly, give them a watch. Obviously,
Yeah.
pick what topic you want and whatnot. But
Yeah.
it just I love the fact that, and they'll say, I don't know, one will go, I strongly agree with this statement you just said. One will say, I strongly disagree. And they'll go, well, why do you disagree? Why?
Yeah.
And it's civilized, you know what I mean? It's not,
Yeah.
oh my God, you're left wing, I'm right wing, or you're
Yeah.
centre and I'm.
You're right, you're wrong, and that's the thing. You're like, like what you said. What is right and wrong? You know what I mean? It all comes down to your life experiences, stuff like that. And on that note, mate, I'm gonna wrap it up because we're gonna
And I talk about making a podcast out of nothing.
run out of time now. But it's been a good one, mate. And
Oh,
well done, for doing your challenge.
yeah.
Right, Andy's quiz master next week, so who knows? I might lose, and you'll have to.
What? Yeah. Might have to get you one.
Yeah, you might have to think of something ruthless for me to do. But I don't want to shoot myself in the foot. Well, why
Well,
not?
it wouldn't hurt, would it?
Yeah, I can't walk anyway. It wouldn't do nothing. But like, apart from loss of blood, so I would have to go to A&E. Yeah, it still would affect me actually. But anyway, on that note, thanks for joining the Lads Not In podcast. It's been Andy, sort of,
Yeah.
Dave and Lewis, and we'd love to see you again soon. Cheers
Yeah,
for that,
nice
mate.
one. No.
Good one.
Like,
See you soon. He's a good lad, he is. Thanks for watching.